There's no need to exchange pleasantries.
Alright guys, let's complete the Fontaine quest.
It is settled then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Maloose. Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you. If it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine. But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you, and to all of us. I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already. Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques. I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups. They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to.
Correct.
Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away.
And cut.
Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for...
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man.
Yeah, Papa was a really good man.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept. Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar. You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me. I'll leave my husband's case.
Thank you, Miss Spina, and Miss Spina's friend. Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So, after that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a 3rd person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a 3rd person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing...
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. So, I think I'll tell you everything.
I understand. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis the Unfaithful epithet. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth.
For sure.
Too slow.
you like to wait?
The wind rises. Too slow. Quit following me. Swollen fury. Wind rises. Too slow. Swollen fury. Behold. fury.
Easy money.
Too slow.
Quietly now. Get out of here!
You even want this?
I'm doing that shit, man.
certainly worth it. Stabilize!
So we need to have think we should do the story quest, That Berserk guy cheated. These motherfuckers. Okay.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to
I
Poisson
think
because I had
this
done
guy is
something
our
wrong.
final suspect.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Callis did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rasula from the ground up.
So we got few evidence here.
Clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners.
Fontaine is really like futuristic, no? They got like many technology here.
What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely...
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support.
This guy seems like a good guy, man. be most wonderful if we have no longer conversation. Then we got another request, right? Which one is it? Marcel.
How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? Sure. I will let him know right away.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure...
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole... I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few...
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone...
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, if anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabriere will use its funds to the last Mora to bring...
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet. So I was out, and then I heard the sound of a gunshot.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversation.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right. Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered and that he had no choice. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he'd...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Oh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection. Makes sense. But without besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? My father did and with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business? Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, but...
So you're saying he's too broke to afford...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be... Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way, but I didn't feel like he was lying.
Yeah. If the mecha were...
Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through...
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking...
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that...
Yeah, we know him.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had...
That's what I thought was strange about it. So I came to tell you, if the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to...
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the...
Yeah. And it'll be all...
I understand. Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as it... Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on... You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true... I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll... be up to you to make it
We'll help you, just like you have.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany. I'm ready.
Malou, Silver, when did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured it's our hope that...
Thank you so much.
Child is always caught up in something.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get... The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Take it easy. Easy money. Take it easy.
Following me. Unnecessary. Quit following me. necessary.
Take it easy. A chest full of valuables and a trove of potential clues. Take it easy.
Suni siya,
must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
How did this guy caught up, man?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of.
However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorent, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey, don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly. We have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is...
That case had nothing to do with him. Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbin.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your...
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearance, and if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience. But that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person...
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières. Huh? What Confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious... And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances...
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the... Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct? Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia. Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived...
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I would... Come on. Why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone a...
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience... Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before...
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clorent in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries.
think we finally saw Navia's
These
father.
are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, in truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea. Something's not right. Let me think.
What the hell, man? Which one am I supposed to use then?
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered and instead shared everything with Callus. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility and had sent out another assassin. Was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. From him and kill him instead. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. So that's what happened. Wait. You're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal, if you would.
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing...
Then, may I ask some questions?
In
my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims? I'm
I'm afraid not.
Boo! If you don't have any
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reason...
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callis explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been
I thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt the dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right, but what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand.
Clarand, best girl, man.
I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callis was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callis never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but...
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearance?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callis. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
I don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the... Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah, well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyway.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the... You could also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first... Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me. And the biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. While that same agency has long been taken from them, the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see? Mark, is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that. Take it easy.
What's this?
Gotcha. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Behold! Upon the gale.
Oh, aquarium.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Swan Fury! Wretched vermin! Behold! Search for it!
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Quit following me! Quit following me! Solidify! Swan Fury! Upon the gale! Search for it! Search for it! Unsightly insects! I will have order! Gather! The wind rises! Quit following me!
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind. That's right.
What is this, man?
What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all... Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? And then they were turned and all the boxes of things. These names... Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth, and that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human. Paima will take notes on this incriminating evidence. Let's see what's written. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this... This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have the old dogs. He can act when I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch no... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female... So that's why he did all of these. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. Ah, you mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was no victim. No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case, Paimon will write it all down. Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain... mixing in progress. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's... We've looked at almost everything. Yeah! We haven't found anything that... No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is that way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this. Nothing at all! And Paimon can't even find snacks either!
Eat something like that, Paimon.
Whoa, really? What Paimon see? Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her diary! Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was the final name she decided on Marcel? Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son?
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named... Oh. I was waiting.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
I feel bad for him.
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence, I expect they...
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything!
ago. And with that, Marcel's this information regarding your past. Well, Marcel, do you... You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as
You also never understood Boss's or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise,
Do you really think? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even they said there's no way a human being can turn into water. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called Venier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she go, but I'm not from this blasted place.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Do you all see? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed callous, I spent my entire life living on pins and needles.
the suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please
Don't touch me. Don't anybody come near me. Venier, please, Venier. Don't.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charge...
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have... The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Venier. During an underwater expedition, Venier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to... However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, after exchanging blows with Spina de Rasula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president, Callus, at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the... And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial... The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse, guilty.
Guards! Take the
Good. It's what...
With that, the series...
We really just witnessed him.
Yippee! We have not... He's hurt so many Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolute... The day our late boss had always hoped for is...
Yeah. See, Papa?
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has any...
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just...
Through evidence presented in the public trial, the guilty party has been identified. We now turn to the According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, guilty.
What?
Hey, hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually...
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think...
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is by law. Fine. Guards, please take the suspect into custody.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Oh, he's coming. Damn, he got just one shot with Nivelet.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court.
This is why you must pull for Nivelet, man. This guy is serious threat.
Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment, all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me?
Look at
I
Lady
had nothing to
Furina,
do
man.
with it. I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
She's pissed off, man.
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken? Oh, don't tell me. You thought he...
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance. Of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment. If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable.
Man, I don't understand this Furina, man. She make too much drama. And we're gonna pull for her.
All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute
correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
Look at those like ornaments things hanging at New Valetla. It's look like that judgment, some kind of like what you call them. I don't know.
Alright. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff. So he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Never let.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him! Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list. No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing. Go on. Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that name. Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted. Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want. What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of...
This request, is it worth as much to you as your...
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even...
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy... Very well.
Your Honor,
I will go with him. You do not need to worry.
In that case, thank you.
So we will go to that path or something, right? It fucking took 2 hours to complete that shit, man.
Take it easy.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing.
Vacher.
Yes, that's it.
Vignier, it's me, Vacher.
Vacher?
I'm here. Where are you, Vignier? I'm coming.
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Is that you? It's me, Vache! Vignier!
Vache, why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need you. You look a lot older than I remember.
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since all this time. Only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive.
True lover,
Nothing else
man.
mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like, Vignier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you. If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
Wait, you are not Vignier.
You're right. I am not Vignier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemonade. I'm Hazine. The only one I am not is Vignier.
Why? But then...
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of this is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
No! Vignier! Shit!
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. She really doesn't want to see you, but on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you. Vache. Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Well met, partner.
Even this weather can't put a damp.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's...
Oh, now that I believe. It's just been one thing. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. This time, though, everyone...
So his name's definitely...
It's been the dearest wish of
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there. And there was...
Huh? So you know Charlotte too?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering... She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial...
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence... And in other news, I also took Clarande out for a meal.
Are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarande gave testimony on my father. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's all...
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarande...
Anyway, now that the... Oh, actually...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave. And on top of that...
Miss Navia. Indeed.
We want to...
Sure thing.
And in that case...
Yeah, you're...
Where is the grave, man?
This is where my father's grave is.
Huh? There's someone there already. Isn't that Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize.
In that case, I will stop
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct, which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. But Mr. Callis proved me utterly, if not for his sacrifice. The serial disappeared. Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, for many, and in the end, from a certain perspective, one could see a justice that's hot. So you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh?
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
So Navia and Neuvillette seem... Let's not disturb them for now. We can... Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do it? Oh no. Anyway, Neuvillette is still
Where is this place, man? Voice.
Squall Fury!
Nice, you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects?
We really did not.
I see.
Um,
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure. Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she... Is there anything...
so, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea.
Huh. So it really...
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vache discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you don't really know it.
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, to be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its law. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
About child.
My apologies. My investment. However, for many years, I have been quite aware that as a divinely created mechanism, not only can it produce the which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation.
So in Lenny...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. In any case, I am based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. While we do intend to get to the bottom, if we did incorrectly...
If you ask Paimon...
Is there anything else? That the sea levels will rise and does that appropriately summarize?
That's right!
Yes, up to the... Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon...
A prophecy?
Two parts of the prophet... Speaking of, if the rumors...
But... What...
Is there any...
I have no more.
Very well. It will soon be time for me to leave this...
You really...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off.
Alright, huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
We got Nivelette. Where is our traveler? We are gonna get Fontaine to request from now on.
Too slow. Behold! The wind rises.